You've arrived at the Candlelit Archive, a place that does not appear on maps and does not exist during the day. Only when the world grows quiet and the thoughts in your mind begin to slow does it open for you. Tonight, you have been granted access to one of its quietest rooms, a story that was never meant to be rushed. So you do not need to stay awake for it. In fact, you are not expected to. Just listen as long as you can and let the rest fade on its own. Somewhere far beyond the crowded highways, beyond the sleepless apartment windows, beyond the glowing clocks and restless thoughts, the rain never stopped. Not violent rain, not storms, only endless, soft rain. Endless, soft rain falling patiently through the dark. Rain against rooftops. Rain through quiet forests. Rain tapping softly at old windows in forgotten houses. And tonight, without entirely understanding how, you are traveling toward that place, toward the small, quiet town where the rain has fallen for so long that no one remembers what silence sounds like anymore. Some people say that rain keeps the town asleep. Others say it keeps old memories alive. And some whisper that the rain only calls people who have grown too tired to continue pretending they are fine. Tonight, the rain is calling you. The train moves slowly and softly through the night. not fast, never hurried. Its wheels hum gently against rain-slick tracks. Outside the windows, the world has dissolved into darkness and silver rain. Telephone poles drift slowly past. Dark forests blur beneath the storm. Distant lights appear occasionally through the fog, then vanish again. Inside the train car, everything feels muted. Dim amber lights glow overhead. Several passengers sleep quietly beneath heavy coats. An old ceiling fan hums softly near the back of the carriage. And somewhere farther ahead, a kettle rattles gently with the motion of the train. You sit alone beside the rain-streaked window, watching water slide endlessly down the glass. You do not entirely remember buying the ticket or deciding to board the train at all. Only that earlier tonight, something inside you became too tired to continue carrying the noise of the world. The endless responsibilities, expectations, the feeling that rest always had to wait until everything else was finished. And so, somehow, you ended up here, traveling through the storm toward a town you have never seen before. A town no maps seem to mention. The conductor appears quietly beside your seat. An elderly woman wearing a dark navy coat with silver buttons. Rainwater still glimmers across her sleeves. Without speaking, she hands you a small paper ticket. You glance down at it. Only 3 words are written there. Last stop tonight. You look up to ask her what it means, but the conductor has already disappeared into the dimly lit train car. Outside, the rain deepens, and somewhere far ahead in the darkness, you begin noticing faint amber lights glowing through the storm. The train slows gradually. Its wheels sigh softly against the wet tracks. Outside the window, small buildings emerge through the fog. Warm lights glowing faintly behind rain-covered windows. Narrow streets shimmering silver beneath old street lamps. The town appears impossibly quiet. No traffic, no crowds, only rain drifting endlessly through the dark. The train finally stops beside a small wooden station. A weathered sign hangs crookedly beneath the platform lantern. The rain has faded the lettering nearly away, but one word remains visible. Bellwether. You step carefully onto the platform. Rain falls softly around you. Cool mist drifts through the air, and immediately you notice something strange. No one here seems bothered by the rain. Not frustrated. Not hurried. The people moving quietly through the town simply accept it, as though the rain is not weather at all, but part of life itself. A woman walks slowly beneath a lantern, carrying fresh bread wrapped in cloth. An elderly man sweeps rainwater gently from the front steps of a bookstore. Two figures sit beneath the awning of a tiny cafe, drinking tea while rain hums softly around them. No one rushes. No one looks exhausted. The entire town feels slower somehow, softer, as though the rain itself has washed away urgency. You begin walking quietly through the narrow streets. Water glimmers beneath your shoes. Warm amber light spills from old windows onto wet cobblestones. And everywhere the rain continues falling. Steady, patient, endless. The sound becomes hypnotic after a while, like breathing, like waves, like a lullaby the town has been singing for generations. Eventually, you notice a small inn at the end of the street. Its windows glow warmly through the storm. A wooden lantern sways gently beside the door. And painted carefully above the entrance are the words, "The Quiet Harbor Inn." Inside, warmth surrounds you immediately. A fireplace crackles softly near the lobby. Old clocks tick slowly against dark wood walls. And somewhere deeper inside the building, someone plays a piano so softly it almost disappears beneath the rain. The innkeeper looks up from behind the counter. A middle-aged woman with silver threaded hair and kind, tired eyes. She smiles gently the moment she sees you, not surprised, almost relieved. You finally made it, she says softly. The words settle strangely inside you, as though part of you has been expected here all along. She hands you a brass room key without asking your name. No paperwork, no questions, only a small, warm smile. Room 7, she says. And don't worry, the rain helps people sleep here. The hallway upstairs glows softly beneath amber lamps. Rain whispers endlessly against the window. The old inn creaks peacefully around you. When you open the door to room 7, everything inside feels impossibly calm. A small fireplace burns low beside the far wall. Heavy blankets rest folded neatly atop the bed. A lantern glows softly near the rain-covered window. And outside, the storm continues drifting through the sleepy town. You sit quietly beside the window for a long time, watching rain slide endlessly down the glass, watching lantern light shimmer across wet streets below. Somewhere in the distance, a church bell rings softly through the fog. Then silence returns. Only rain. Always rain. And little by little, the exhaustion inside you begins surfacing fully, not painfully, gently, like fog rising from dark water. You realize how tired you truly are. How long you've been holding yourself together. How carefully you carried every responsibility, every expectation, every invisible emotional weight, without ever allowing yourself to stop. Because stopping felt dangerous somehow, as though if you rested, everything might fall apart. But here, inside this rain-soaked town, nothing asks anything from you. Not the streets, not the inn, not the endless, patient rain beyond the window. Only rest. The next morning, the rain is still falling, exactly the same as before. Soft, steady, endless. You walk downstairs expecting the storm to have passed, but no one seems surprised by the continuing rain. The innkeeper simply pours tea quietly beside the fire. Several guests read books beneath dim amber lamps. An old man naps peacefully near the window while rain hums against the glass. Eventually, you ask the innkeeper whether the rain ever stops here. She smiles softly. No, she says, not really. Then after a moment, she adds quietly, that's why some people stay. You glance around the inn at the peaceful faces, the slow movements, the quiet stillness filling every room. And slowly you begin understanding the rain changes people here. Not magically, gently. The endless softness of it, the permission to slow down, the constant reminder that the world can continue moving without demanding your exhaustion in exchange. The innkeeper places another cup of tea beside you, then says quietly, people arrive here carrying far too much, and after a while, she looks toward the rain-covered windows. The storm teaches them how to set some of it down. Outside, the rain continues falling patiently through the sleeping town. That evening, you return once more to room 7. The lantern glows softly beside the window. The fireplace burns low and amber. And beyond the glass, rain continues drifting endlessly through the dark. You no longer wish for it to stop. Because somewhere along the way, the sound became comforting. Like breathing beside you in the dark. Like the world quietly whispering, you do not have to keep carrying everything tonight. You slip slowly beneath the blankets. Warmth surrounds you immediately. The mattress softens beneath your weight. And outside, the rain continues its endless lullaby. Rain on rooftops. Rain through dark forests. Rain against glowing windows in quiet, forgotten streets. The town grows sleepier around you. The inn settles softly into silence. And somewhere far below, the old piano continues playing so quietly it nearly disappears into the storm. Your eyes grow heavier. The room soft. The world gentler at the edges. And just before sleep finally takes you, you realize something quite beautiful. Somewhere, the rain never stopped. Not to trap weary travelers, not to drown the world in sadness, but to create one small forgotten place where tired souls could finally rest long enough to hear themselves breathing again. Outside, the rain continues falling endlessly through the dark. Soft, patient, infinite, and somewhere beneath its silver lullaby, you drift slowly into sleep. And now, the Candlelit Archive grows quiet again. The books return to stillness. The lanterns continue their gentle watch. And the story is put away until it is needed once more. You do not need to finish this moment awake. You do not need to hold on to anything from it. Only rest. Only slow down. Only